last meal where I am before I depart and head to my next stop. So I decided to come on Instagram, just cause I'll let y'all see where I am. It's been a little rainy this morning. It's been a little rainy this morning. Oh. And so, but I'm getting ready to head out and make it to my next stop. So I'm just I thought I'd chat with you guys. So somebody had asked a question about, not really asked a question, but shared a situation that happened when they were traveling as a woman, traveling as a lady, and the being what they would consider to be inappropriate, and they were in a city that's on the same coast in the same country that I'm in, but what happened to them is apparently they had come from the beach and they had a cover up on, something similar to what I have on, but I have like a tank kind of thing on underneath it. You can't see through it, but it's really just to keep cool but be covered, have my shoulders and knees and stuff covered. But anyway, I guess this person came from the beach, and some women saw this particular woman and basically alerted the men, and this is what she said, to come and strip her down because she disrespected their culture. And so I don't even want to talk about the incident because I wasn't there, right? But I've been enough places over here where, you see the difference in us walking around like that, meaning black people, and other people walking around like that, Europeans, like half naked, and nothing ever happens. And so my question from this was, was the issue really the cultural difference? Is it really cultural? Is it taught? Is it religious? And is it some sort of bias? Because it's not across the board. And so, like, I was in another country, and I was actually where this person was, but I just never went to the beach. Where they were, I went south, and it was fine. Swimming suit, you pretty much walk around, shorts and all of that on. Even where they were, I was with a native that wore shorts, and so it was just really interesting. So it's like, is it really a cultural thing that you can never do it, or is it like this pick and choose when they like it and when they don't? One reason I asked that is because when I was in another country, on the east side, one of the things that I noticed was that all of those rules for women in attire goes out the window Thursday night. Like, as soon as Thursday night hits, it's like to a point where I didn't know where I was, and I was like, where are we? I don't even know. Yeah, that was a Friday night, my first experience, but I was just like, it's confusing because either it's truly about respecting the culture, or it's picking and choosing when, or is it because maybe someone isn't so that's why it throws me off when people say you got to respect the culture, and I'm just like, but they flip the script just like this. So is it really cultural? Or is it just, I don't like you? So today we're going to demonstrate with you, and I've witnessed this firsthand. So this is not taken from somebody else and regurgitated and all that. These are things that I specifically witness in a place that, if I walk around with, if I have on a tank top, and other people wear tank tops, but if I have on a tank top, it seems like I get stared down, and it's really interesting to me. And so, it just makes me wonder, and that's why I cringe, and I question the validity of the statement when I hear it. I question whether or not the statements are actually accurate. And because I hear us when we're in our groups and stuff, and we're on social media, and people are asking, what should I wear? What can I this? What can I that? And somebody's like, you just need to respect the culture. You won't get stared at. I'm like, you're going to get stared at anyway because they know you different. So that's just how it is. But I've experienced a number of different things, because I think once you've been somewhere long enough, you start to see different nuances. And I've been here not longer than a lot of people, but longer than somebody visiting, not longer than a vacation. And so you start to see variances in how people are treated, and regardless of what they're wearing. And then there was another question, so it was about the clothes, and then someone asked a question about money. Do you ever feel like you're treated preferentially when you're wealthier than locals? And I'm like, that's like a double-edged sword, because in order to be treated with preference, like, catered to, you gotta have money, because so they know the difference between, you just, spend a little money because you on vacation and you can afford to buy a property, or you out here, what they consider balling, meaning that you own something. So there's different levels to it. I feel like when we're here, as long as we're here and kind of moving around, we're treated like, yeah, you have more money, so I want more from you. And one of the things that I've experienced, and it's defeating, is when I know specifically that I am being kind of pigeoned and basically begged for money, and they won't ask their fellow European counterpart. They don't do the same. Like, I literally have witnesses. I even asked somebody, and I was like, why don't you ask, basically beg, because that's really what it is. And I'll give you an example of what happened yesterday. Them for money. I've been around enough to watch the scenery, and they don't. There's a level of respect, and it's not even respect. It's kind of like they've told them, don't come to me. We basically fund your living. It's like, how do you say it? Because of them, we have jobs, right? And so, not everybody, but there are a lot of people that, if they give them something, they give them something. If they don't ask for it, right? But with us, like, I had somebody send me a message and basically say, well, since I helped you a couple days ago and called somebody for you, can you send me commission? Like, this is my only issue with stuff like that. Everybody wants to get paid some kind of way. Be upfront with what it is that you request and what you want, because in this world, what you realize is nobody helps you just out of the kindness of their heart. Very few people. I won't say nobody, because I did experience help in Egypt, which and for most people, they'll tell you that'll never happen, and I experienced that from a guy in Egypt. Didn't want nothing, just literally just helped, and walked away. But yesterday, I called for a boda, which is somebody to pick me up on a motorbike, because I had the number, and thank God I did, because I was in a place where they're just not out there sitting and waiting for you. And so I called for one, and he came, and then he mentioned, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go back, yada yada. I knew what the cost was because he took me. And so he was like, oh, there's some place, yada yada, you want to go? I want to go. And I was like, well, I don't need to go, because I'm not going to do the activity, because I already knew what it was. I was like, man, I'm good. I was like, but if you want to, that's fine. I knew in my head what was happening. But I was like, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But what happened is we got there. He was like, I didn't want anything, because I just came from a restaurant. I was at a restaurant for 3 hours. I don't want any food or anything to drink, So I'm chill. And he said he got his beer, and then when the tab came, he got it. He folded up and sat it in front of me. And I was like, what's that? He was like, you. And I was like, for what? I didn't drink a beer. You drank a beer. You ordered a beer. You drank a beer. First of all, I do things for people, but you're not going to do that to me. I don't care who you are, right? And you could have left me there because it was the job. I'll get a ride home, right? But I don't like that. I don't like this. Let me put you in a situation where you have no choice except to be indebted to me in some sort of way. And I was like, ain't my beer. Like, you paid for it. He had to take care of it or whatever. And he was like, oh, it's okay. And I was like, I didn't respond. I don't care. Like, that doesn't matter to me. Like, these are things that I don't like that they do. And I don't see that with other groups. And maybe it does happen, but I don't see it. And I'm just like, I call it out if I need to call it out, or I just simply say no. No, I'm not going to. And then when we got to the place, I said, what's, the cost? I just wanted to see. And he was like, well, what do you want to pay me? I said, we don't do that. I said, you charge me $200. He goes, oh, well, $200, but then we went such and such. I said, that was your choice. He said, but are you happy? And I was like, no, I didn't want to go there. That was your choice. But I went ahead and I gave him what he asked for. But I won't call him again. Unless there's a very clear understanding. And so there's these levels that I feel like we go through, that we have to kind of put up with things that other people don't have to put up with. And I think it's because, other people have made it very clear, I'm not giving you extra. I'm not doing all of that. I allow you to solicit and sell your products and stuff in front of my store. So because I allow you to do that, don't ask me for nothing. Don't ask my patrons for anything. And I'm sure they say specifically which patrons. And so it's like questions like that, the clothing and, asking for the funds and stuff like that I think is different depending on the hue of thy skin. And so, I had to, kind of share my thoughts on that. I don't know how long I'll leave this video up. I might actually, if I can save it, I might put it on YouTube as a discussion point, or Clubhouse as a discussion point. But has anybody else experienced that, where you can tell it's the mentality is completely different when it comes to, how you're viewed versus, and how you're treated versus someone else? It's almost like, okay, they're up here, well, we know you're just visiting, and so you got money, and so it's like always having to pay on the back end for something. It's always like, no matter what, I'm paying for the loss of something else that I have nothing to do with, right? And so, just those kinds of things that make me, just think about where I am, the things that I experience on a regular basis, And I'm glad I've been around some people that I can just ask the questions. I just come out and, right out the blue, just say, why is this way? Why do you guys do this? Why, why are Black Americans one thing and, other people are kind of responded to and treated differently? And so it's an interesting dynamic. I have more to share, but I'll probably share it on like a Clubhouse setting or something like that. If you guys join Clubhouse or on Clubhouse, I may be talking about it there because it's a little less censored and you don't have to worry about all this other stuff, and we can have, candid conversations. But it's just interesting things that I notice being abroad, not just visiting, not just being on vacation for a few days, because I'm not nestled in a high-end hotel. I don't really do them anyway. But, I'm in the streets. Like, I'm out here mingling and co-mingling and making it happen with, everyday people, which is the way that I happen to like it. But I just notice certain behaviors in that. So y'all ordered avocado toast, just sliced avocado and some rice, and
Mama,
it has been 35 minutes so far. So hopefully they'll bring me my food, because I actually have to leave in about 15 minutes to catch my flight. So I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all. It just this will be on replay for a little bit. I'll leave it up for a few hours. Y'all tell me what you think in comments after you watch this playback. I'll let y'all see where I am right quick before I get out of here. This is a cloudy day. The sun is starting to come out a little bit. People are starting to emerge. Church is over. I think they've been praising and worshiping since 5 a.m. this morning, y'all. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Peace and hair grease.